Who's ready? Who's ready? All right, I need to get some champagne because we drinking. If you have not seen The Tiger King, I have some visual aids, okay? So, this is Joe Exotic. Now, granted, he's not nearly as flamboyant nor as unattractive as Joe Exotic may be, but this is Joe Exotic. Now, he owned, for the purposes of this story, we're going to say he owns it right now. He owns a zoo. I own a zoo. My name is Joe Exotic. I own a zoo. Okay, now, Joe has a husband. What's the husband's name again? You tell me what I did to his poor face. Do you love that I did this? I saw somebody online call Joe Exotic's husbands methosexuals, and I feel like that's how it works. He gave them amphetamines for marriage. I mean, this is, so he owns the zoo. He's got this husband, his straight husband. Please note his busted teeth. Okay. Now, he also has this husband. This is Travis. This is Travis, his other husband. They're all married together. Travis also identifies as straight. I cannot believe that I'm just laying the groundwork here, okay? I'm just laying the groundwork so you know who's who. Joe is not very kind to his cats. I don't know where my cats went. He's not very kind to his cats. He is a cat breeder. He breeds cubs. He sells cubs. One of the people he sells his cubs to is a man named Doc Antle. Okay, now Doc Antle owns cats and also women. He has a harem and of all these women here. Okay, here's Doc Antle. He also owns a zoo. Okay, so him and apparently these women. Yeah, he's a cult leader. Don't worry, we've got more visual aids. We've got more, but so okay. So Joe sells cats to this guy. He abuses his cats. He abuses his cats. No, this is really how it works. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. So he has, Doc Antle hires all these women to work for him in his zoo. And he also sleeps with them and gives them houses. It's kind of like the HBO show Big Love, except they're not Mormons. He's a slippery, slimy, sleazy kind of guy. Now, we have another player. And her name, and I don't have any animal print, so excuse me, but her name is Carole Baskin. Carole likes to waft through her zoo, taking care of the kitties. Carole has a husband. This is her husband. He's a mealy-mouthed little man, and I can't imagine that they ever actually had sex. Carole decides she's going to save cats. Now, we have to get into the backstory of Carole because she used to not save cats. She used to also buy cubs, but she decides Joe Exotic has got to go. So she and her husband, was it Harold? She and her husband Harold, no, this is her husband now. Well, it's a good thing you asked about the other husband because Carole used to have another husband and he mysteriously disappeared, but we'll get to that. So Carole decides, oh, I threw her husband. Carole decides she's going to go after Joe Exotic. She's going to take him and his methosexuals down. She's going to rescue the kitties. She gets PETA on the case. She gets this all handled. She's like, I'm going to take this guy down. Meanwhile, she has her own sanctuary zoo. She's going after Joe Exotic hard. We've got lawsuits. These are not puppets. These are Barbies. These are Barbies. I ran out of Ken dolls, all right? And besides, I feel like she would marry baby men. I feel like that's kind of her brand. Men she could like boss around and shit. So she and her husband go after Joe Exotic, the Tiger King. Joe Exotic gets very, very, very upset. So he starts making videos about how he's gonna kill Carole. He starts telling everybody in the world he wants to kill Carole. Well, he loses his lawsuit. So then he hooks up with this guy. This guy is Jeff Lowe. Now, Jeff Lowe on the series looks like a busted-ass biker dude. Just, I mean, some white, nasty, funky, saggy, ball-having, gross motherfucker. For our purposes, he's in his bathrobe. He comes along and he says, I'm gonna save your zoo. And Joe Exotic says, okay. Joe Exotic signs it over. Jeff Lowe now owns the zoo. He brings in his chick, who is apparently naked. So they all come in and they're owning the zoo. Well, he doesn't really like that he owns the zoo. He's freaking out. He flips out. He decides to go to Jeff Lowe's homie, whose name I forget, who's just out of his mind. I want to pay you money to kill Carole Baskin. I'm going to take your money. He takes the money, he runs away. But apparently the whole thing has been recorded. So the FBI comes in and they arrest Joe Exotic. Yes, they arrest him. That's the basis of the whole premise, is he gets arrested for trying to kill Carole Baskin. Now, side story. Here's the two husbands. This guy, Travis, liked to play around with guns and shot himself in the head accidentally. This happened on camera. We don't see it in the show. You don't see it in the show. He's actually underneath a security camera. And you see Joe Exotic's campaign manager because, oh yes, he ran for president. The campaign manager, by the way, he hired from Walmart. You see him, the campaign manager, his face. You see it. I knew there was something wrong with this guy when he wasn't appearing on camera. I knew there was something wrong. I knew something was going on. So he's dead. He's straight. He got his teeth fixed. She is now the subject of tons of controversy because her first husband has gone missing. Well, second husband. The second husband started the sanctuary with her. He was a millionaire. And one day he goes missing. The rumor is that she fed him to the tigers. So there's our primer. That's as much as you need to know. And don't worry about it because I have a whiteboard. So we have Joe Exotic, the Tiger King. His crime is murder for hire. Okay. We have Carole Baskin. Her crime is probably that she killed her husband and fed him to the tigers. We have Jeff Lowe. His crime is that he stole a zoo. We have Doc Antle. His crime is that he's a cult leader. Okay? Okay? So is everybody got this? Now, in the beginning of the zoo, he was wearing his khakis and he was talking about preserving animals and saving animals. And then somewhere along the line, crystal meth came in the picture. Do we have a crystal meth? We probably do. Let's see. Who wants to be crystal meth? Oh, I think you'll do. Joe meets crystal meth. They meet. They fall in love. And then Joe became a lunatic. Look at her. She is a broke hoe. Look at this poor girl. I didn't do this to her, by the way. I took good care of my Barbies. I got her this way. This was an inherited Barbie. Joe starts dressing like a lunatic. He starts putting on one-man narcissism shows. He starts hoarding tigers. He's hoarding tigers. He's hoarding giant animals. There is a staff of misfits working at this park. People that he paid $100 a week, if that. They were also eating the expired Walmart meat that the tigers and lions were eating, okay? That's how these people ate. They lived in rat and roach-infested trailers on the property. So he says, I really like you. And he says, I'm totally straight. And then he says, I got to introduce you to somebody. And he goes away. And he comes back with crystal meth. And John says, He takes one look at crystal meth and he says, oh my God, I'm in love. So then he lost his teeth. He's addicted to crystal meth. And here is where we will begin to read our cards. Okay, I'm getting the cards. Okay. So it is as you could imagine. Oh, but interesting. It was fated. It was a fated relationship. Wheel of Fortune is here. Oh, God, look at all the lies. Look at all the lies. Yeah, this was... Joe Exotic wants to be King of Wands, by the way. So this relationship... Okay, we're going to get into the tea. Are you ready? This relationship... I like to have my visual aids. It was all about Joe. I mean, you can see that on the show, but it's clearly here. He's the only one in the cards. Unless poor John is the Page of Pentacles, which he very well might be. But the entire relationship was based on money. It was based on being provided for. And it was all about him. It was all about him. It wasn't... Show me John. John's easy to read. Show me John. Oh, he's just a sweet, dumb guy. He is just a sweet... He's a nice... I tell you what, this guy's a nice guy. I feel like if he had had a chance in life, that he would have fared a little bit better. But the man had no education. He comes from a very broken home. A very broken home. Tiger King was into some very, very sick sexual stuff. Like sick. Like he's not, the man ain't well, he's never been well. He wants Channing Tatum to play him in the movie. That's ambitious. Ain't no shade, anybody, you know, having problems with Crystal. Listen, she's a seductive bitch. I know she looks busted, but she can be very seductive. I will take a vote. Let's do a vote right now. Do you want to know about the sex tea? Because it's here. I've got it. It's disgusting. And I don't know how far we want to go. That would be if Joe Exotic was my client, I'd be like, okay, first of all, you need to wash your ass. The man is not clean. Look at this. Not even a full glass in. I'm like drunk. I'm like drunk over here. I'm like, all right, let me tell you something. No, really though, let me tell you this. Once upon a time, there was a producer that came to Joe Exotic. This man is not indicative of the producer because he's a gnarly old looking guy. But here's the producer. He comes over to the Tiger King and he says, I'm going to make a show about you and we're going to be famous. And the Tiger King says, okay. And he says, I'm going to film everything you do on the zoo property. And the Tiger King says, stupidly, okay. So he films everything. Everything. He films animal abuse. He films Joe Exotic acting like a fucking lunatic, like a goddamn narcissist, being really punitive with his employees, really horrible shit. And he says to him, oh, I own the footage. I own the footage. What do you mean you own the footage? I own the footage. I own everything. I could bury you if I wanted to. I own everything. Where is the footage, producer? Well, dumbass. The footage, which is not backed up, is in a shed on Joe Exotic's property. So they get into a fight. He owns the footage. He doesn't like that. He goes away. And the next thing you know, the shed where, and this is so bizarre, Michael Jackson's alligators, they were Michael Jackson's fucking alligators from Neverland. I read that on the Daily Beast. Michael Jackson's alligators are in the shed with the footage. The whole thing burns down. Yeah, they were fucking Michael Jackson's alligators, you guys. The whole thing burns to the ground one night. Joe Exotic says, the producer did it. And the producer was like, Joe Exotic did it. And then they were like, no, wait. Where'd she go? Where's my bitch? Carole. Carole, where'd you go, bitch? Where did we put? Oh, there she is. Then they were like, no, Carole Baskin did it. I wish I had some animal print for Carole Baskin. Yeah, they boiled the alligators alive. And I will tell you this, fucking Joe Exotic did it. I'm going on the psychic record. He did it. That's coming through clear as a bell. Oh, she is. I will tell you, that woman is being investigated. Wait till we get to reading on Carole. She's being fucking investigated. She is being investigated straight up, dude. She absolutely is. Don't think she's not. Carole, if you're watching, all you cool cats and kitties, your ass is in trouble, bitch. Why is Joe such a weirdo? Jesus, could it be Crystal? Okay, that man's spirit is angry as fuck. Not about the Barbie either. He's not angry about his Barbie representation. He is angry as shit. You know what this man feels like if he hadn't been given the drugs and the guns and he hadn't been so fucked up in the head? He feels like Joe Exotic killed him. He feels like he killed him. He is very angry. If he hadn't been given the drugs, if he hadn't been given the guns, he feels like he still would be alive. He said he's talking. He's telling me he was in a stupor. He was in absolute stupor. He was not. This is great. He was not as quote unquote dumb as the other people around him. He feels like he was killed. He doesn't feel like he killed himself. He feels like he was murdered. He feels like this man he's very angry. He's saying by the time we got married, it was just you do what Joe wants. Like he was like, I just did what he wants. I just do what Joe wants. I just did what he wanted. I just did what he wanted. By the time he got to where he was, like the marriage stuff, he was gone. But when he said he literally leapt out of the body once the gun went off. He leapt out. He was not in the body. It didn't freak him out. He saw it and he went, oh shit. Like he knew immediately. But again, he felt stoned when he came out of the body. He's also telling me he's getting tired. So whatever's going on here, he's not going to be here for much longer. But we'll get our Doc Antle Barbie out to channel Doc Antle. I wish I had ponytails for him. This man's going to get in trouble. I don't even get the cards. I have the cards. I barely touched them. I'm going to put cards on this. This man's going to get in trouble. This man's about to get in legal trouble. I will tell you this. He's about to get in big legal trouble. No, there's something about a baby. Like somebody had a baby or somebody aborted a baby or something about a baby. There's a baby here. I'm just going to lay it out for those of you who don't know. And you have like a stable of hoes. Let's talk about how this man can't fuck. Can we please talk about this? Oh, there's tax problems. Oh shit. There's like tax evasion for this fucker too. There's tax shit. There's tax shit. I mean, this is this guy's energy. He's like, he wants to swagger. Like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, it's hitting my knees, baby. Yeah, like I can't even, like I'm not even like, it's this fucking swag. And then I'm like, you have an average penis, sir. Like Jeff Lowe. I want. Like he wants to eat everything. He wants to have everything. He wants to own everything. This man, he's going to lose what he has as well. He's going to lose what he has as well. Jeff Lowe's going to, listen, he thrives. Jeff Lowe thrives for maybe a year, maybe 2 years. He thrives and then it crashes. And it's weird because it's like, okay, so it's very convoluted because it feels like he may have been discussing it like, I want you to fucking kill her. Like, I see that. I get that. But when the money actually went to this guy, teardrop guy, ugh, just even mentioning his name, like the energy is shit. It's so fucking demonic. Don't forget to harass Casey, you guys. If you're on Instagram, if you're on Twitter, he had to get off Facebook because he was addicted to it for a while. At Lunatic Dolphin, go tell. All right, Carole Baskin, let's have a chat. She does not fuck that man. I don't know why I'm so sex heavy. Maybe this lady is kind of the same energy where it's gimme, 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 gimme. But she wraps it in this really gorgeous, like, oh, I'm saving everyone. Like, oh my God. But she's not that delusional. I will tell you this, Joe Exotic believes his own bullshit. But these guys are like, oh my God, she's got it. Like, she's got the magic. Like, this is so wild. She uses it to her advantage big time. She's got a very harsh energy to her. She wants to squash people. There's people she wants to fucking squash. She wants to squash them. She wants to hurt them. No, none of these people have any qualifications. If anybody, I mean, if we're like ranking these people, she's definitely at the top of the heap because she's not shooting these fuckers in the head. You know, she's providing care. She's providing comfort. She doesn't. It's weird because she sees them as this commodity but part of the facade that she has is like this earth mother. Oh, I'm caring for them. So because of that, they actually get better care because of her facade, you know? Show me the husband. Yeah, it's weird. The sex stuff is weird. All these people have weird sex shit going on. We're about to reveal, did Carole Baskin kill her husband? You like jumped on and off at the exact right time. We're about to reveal it. She does whatever she has to do to preserve these ideas of herself. So if she's going to be a mom, she's going to be the best mom. She's going to do these things that shows she's the best mom. But is she the best mom deep down in? No. Allegedly. Thank you. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. Exactly. She is going to have this animal sanctuary. So she's got to be this. She's just a persona. She has no real sense of identity. And so she does whatever she has to do to feed herself and feed this sense of ego and feed this sense of identity. She's got to feed it constantly. It's really bizarre. These people are very bizarre. Also, he was not a good husband. She's showing me this. He was actually rather abusive and controlling. Do you hear this? There's clicks. And the sex energy around these people specifically is completely bizarre. It's so prevalent. He had a high sex drive. She had to satisfy that. And like there got to a point where she wanted to control him, but she felt controlled by him instead. And she shrunk. She became smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. She didn't like that. The first husband too, she shrunk under him. This is weird. I don't know what I mean by shrunk, but she shrunk. And she doesn't feel diminished now. She doesn't feel diminished now, but she felt that way before. She felt like she was threatened. She felt like she was in danger. By the time the marriage was ending, she felt like she was threatened. She was in danger. And the thing with Joe Exotic, she felt like he was competition. So there's something here where she felt like he was competition. She wanted to take him out. That's part of it. But part of it was she also felt like she was on a crusade. This is part of the persona. This is part of what she's doing. I don't know what the fuck is in the kitchen. It's not coming forth. Again, same shit. And if it's the lady from the Cranberries, if you've seen that drunk tarot, that was hellacious. We set the kitchen on fire trying to get rid of this fucking broad. Look at this. Who the fuck else has a crystal meth Barbie? No one. And I'm not making that up. Like, I'm fucking juiced. She's fucked the fuck up. She's busted and she's mine. Okay, mwah, I'm going. I adore you. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you.